G'day guys, how are you all? Hope you're all doing well. Picking some blocks and you know it. Don't forget to even hashtag it. Keep it bloody legal. Not put my flash on because I forgot to. There we go, a bit more lighting. As you know, in the live stream I said I bought the crappy universal lockout tool set. Honestly, this is rubbish. Rubbish. But I bought it because I wanted to modify a few of the tools and I had some other stuff going on. That I saw in this kit, which I've got into my bag. That's my Breaking Anything bag. So you get the crappy plastic case, which literally was ripped. It's made in China, so it's not that good. It was ripped when I got it in the post, so absolute rubbish. Get rid of that. The Instruct Eon handbook, it's just garbage. It really is. There's not a whole lot of bloody useful information in here, to be honest with you. I mean, it does say about bending the thin bar and the wide bar, like the Slim Jims. It says about bending them, but you watch a video on YouTube, it tells you that. And their Chinglish is freaking hideous. It's just bad. Slido wedge between weather stripping and glass on the car door in sort Wonder Tool. Yeah, really bloody bad. So you can get rid of that as well. But what you get in the kit, you get the thin bar and the wide bar with the Slim Jims, which I'll grab them right here. So I did keep these. Come on out. So I did keep these two. I did modify them slightly because when you get them, they are as sharp and as rough as bloody guts. You can cut yourself with them. They are that sharp on the edges. It is not funny. So you try and use them, you are going to slice open the weather seal and damage the car. You can probably cut through the bloody car. That's how sharp they were. Very nasty. So I hit these with some sandpaper and now they are smooth either side. So I literally just rubbed down the sides with sandpaper like you do with a lockpick, just to round them out a little bit and make them a little bit, not so sharp, so you're not going to damage weather stripping when you use them. So you do get two of them, and I did it to both because they are just shonky, but they will work if need be, and they're cheap enough that if you damage them, then you can just replace them. So you do get that, and it's a low grade stainless steel because it is very soft. Very bendable, but if you know what you're doing, she will actually work for you. So you do get them, they're kind of worth it. The other thing, the reason why I bought it, and let me grab them out of my box here, it does come also with the plastic coat hanger, as it's called. Yeah, it's not the absolute best. Packaging strap does work a lot better. Trust me, packaging strap does work a lot better than this stuff. But you get one of them. I already bent it, as you can see. Right, so it will actually bend, push that through your window or your door, and then you can just feed it around, loop it over your button on your lock, pull it tight, and then pull it up, and it will actually unlock the door. They just show you in here. The basic method of what you want to do, going through your door, hook it around the button, pull it tight, and then slide up. So it does tell you, lift up to unlock door. It does work. It's an old method. Packaging strap works better than this thin plastic that they give you, but it comes in the kit. I'm going to replace it with some packaging strap. You get wedges, 2 pieces of these. Now the original set only come with these two, which, they're not the best wedges. I would probably use these as door stops for the house rather than actual wedges. They're not the best. They're short. They're not, really nice wedges for using once you use the airbags. But the reason why I bought this set was I noticed that they had the good quality wedges in there, the better ones for cars and stuff like that, rather than these ones here, the short white ones. You get long red ones. The original sets didn't have those. So for under $40, of course, I was going to get it for these. To use these to wedge down in the door, to hold the door up and to get the tools in. So you do get a good thing, which is these. One good thing out of the whole kit. The other thing they give you is a gas cap tool, which you'd be better off just using a jiggler key. This is it here. So you get this crappy bloody key. It's sharp as anything. You can literally cut yourself. I can actually scratch chunks out of my fingernail with it. That's how sharp it is. And the steel quality, as I said, really soft stainless steel. You can literally bend it with no effort at all. Like, smallest little bit of effort. So, you're going to bend it trying to open up the locks. You're better off getting a set of jiggler keys and using that. That can go in the bin. Rubbish. Absolute crap. And we all have sets of jiggler keys anyway, so that work way better than what that bloody will. So you get another couple of tools in here as well. You get a square, what they call it, wire form S-hook. Yeah, I won't be using this. I might actually just rebend it and shape it to actually hook onto a button so I can slide in through, hook on and pull up. For what it's actual design used for, I wouldn't use it, but that's just me. But the steel itself is very soft. You can bend it into a position. So, I might reshape this into another tool that can be useful rather than one that bloody isn't for here in Australia. Yeah, another thing to go in the crap pile. You do get another tool, which they call the side lock tool, slide lock. It's meant to have a wire or fishing line attachment to it to pull up on here. It doesn't have one, but what I'm actually going to do with this is manipulate it and change it. So I'm actually going to rebend and cut, put a sharp or point on there so I can actually hook it in to pull across on the locks, like the actual slide buttons that they have. Some of the Fords had them. You put your fingers in, slide them across, those types. I'm going to make it so I can hook onto them and pull them to unlock it. So, yeah, it could be useful for some tools. I'm sure, cars, I'm sure it would work in its original format that it's designed for, but for me, I won't be using it for anything like that. So, yeah, another one which, And the last tool, which no longer exists, well, second last tool, is what they call the Wonder Tool. Now, I'm wondering what bloody kind of tool this thing is. It's called the Wonder Tool. And you meant to slide that all the way down under the window, all the way back up into the car, and then move it up and down to manipulate up and down buttons, or side to side for the same ones that I was just talking about. But it's crap. I would not freaking use that. I don't even know how you would bloody use it, and if it would actually work without damaging all the electronics and everything inside of a car door. So I manipulated it and changed mine to a tool that I know will bloody work, as I told you in the live stream. So I rebent the whole bloody thing. So I've kept some of the original bends like at this end here, and I've just put a bit of a curve in there. So this is going to be my handle to manipulate, turn and move. And I straightened the tool all the way out, right out. And there's a little bit of a kink still just here in the wiring where I bent it all straight. And went all the way out, straightened it till you get to the end just here. So this end just here, where that bend is, up here, is actually this part of the tool just up here. So I left that in there and it hooked in on itself, and I cut that off. That's so that when I put it through the door, it will turn, I can turn it, it will actually point in towards the door handle, because a lot of cars you can actually hook onto the door handle, which I've done with a bent coat hanger. This is just a bit thicker and easier to bend and maneuver. Hook onto the door handle and then actually pull back on the tool and pull the door handle open on the inside. A lot of cars have it so that if you pull on the driver's side door handle, it pops the lock on the driver's side. I've done it on cars before, so I know it works. So, turning a crappy tool into something that's going to bloody work. The only thing I've got to do is test it, just to see if I need to bend and maneuver that hook just a little bit so that when it goes through, I can hook it onto a door handle to actually be able to pull on it to open it. But turning a crappy friggin' tool into something that is actually kind of useful, like the long reach tool that you see in a lot of the automotive sets. So that's one thing that's kind of useful as well if you manipulate it and change it and turn it into something better. And the last tool is a pump wedge. So I've got it here. Now this is going to need modifications because I'm going to get this stuff out of the way. The modifications it's going to need, let's put these back in the bag, is because it's so cheap the way it's made. She's really, really sharp, and you can kind of see where they've stuck it together. Camera will focus, come on, focus for me. Kind of see it's like not stuck together properly, and that is really sharp. And if you're going to try and slide that like any tool into the car, you're going to slice through and probably rip at the seal on the inside, the weather stripping on the inside of your car, which means when they're driving along, all they're going to hear is where the wind's coming in through. So you want something that is actually smoothed out, not sharp like this one here. This is a proper pump wedge, a better quality one. You know, no sharp edges. It's not going to slice through the weather seal when you put it into the car. Got a nice short little pumper on there, and you actually, I know this does fit in the car without ripping at it. It will actually slide in to the door, and you can pump it open. Whereas again, the Chinese cheap, crappy thing right here is just going to rip shreds through it. So, easiest way to modify that. Does it work? Yes. I don't know what the actual pressure build up on this one is compared to the other ones, but it's quite easy to modify. They've left a nice big heat seal all the way around the outside. So all you need is a pair of scissors, and we're going to literally just trim right down the very outer edge of that heat seal. Just like this. And very careful. And just tie it up when we get down there. So it still needs a little bit more tidying. So I'll pause the camera instead of borrowing you actually cutting all this. I'll cut it all out and then I'll show you. Alright, got last edge just here. Just carefully cut across. And all the way up to the end. Like that. Let's just get this little snippet just here. Make sure she's neat. Like that. And the other thing I've done is just slightly rounded off those corners so you don't have a sharp edge or point that's going to cut in. Like this. There we go. So now we actually have a pump wedge that's not going to cut into the actual car weather stripping. You know, like the other one, well, it would have with these really sharp edges. Give me one sec. Right, so other thing I did, as I was saying before I had to go and tell the kids off for fighting, they rounded off the edges as well and cut it right down. So there's no sharp edge on this that's actually going to, you know, rip a big slice through your weather stripping when you slide into the car. The other thing with this one's got a very, very long bloody hose on it. Compared to my other pump wedges, which, you know, I'm not complaining about, but yeah, it does need to be that big. Probably spray this with a bit of lubricant when you slide it in as well. It just doesn't seem quite as smooth as the other pump wedges I've got. It seems to be a little bit more textured, so it's going to grip and fight just a little bit when you slide it in. But you also want that little bit of texture so it actually grips when you pump it up, so it doesn't just push itself back out. But you can pump up the car nice and gently, and you know it's not going to rip chunks in it now because we've actually neatened this up. a lot better than what it was, because it was just nasty when it arrived. So there you go, nice little modification of just cutting off the really crappy sharp edges, and you have a proper working pump wedge. So there we go. You know, would I recommend buying the tool for under $40 for something cheap? You can actually modify a lot of the tools, but you get a lot of wastage, as I've shown you. Yeah, it's kind of worth it as long as you have those long red wedges in there rather than the short white ones. Get rid of the crap like the gas cap jiggler key. You know, the other bloody useless wire bloody bending wire bloody tools. I don't even know what to bloody call them. You know, the wire form S-hook and the slide lock tool. You know, repurpose them into something that's going to work, like I did with the Wonder tool. The Slim Jims, they're going to work well. Plastic coat hanger, yeah, you just use wiper insert. The wedges, that's kind of, you know, one of the reasons why I got it. And the Wonder tool, rebend it like I showed you, turn it into a tool that will actually be useful. And you get a pretty good kit for the actual price. So there we go. I'm not going to bore you again with all the stuff right at the end. You know what to do. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Links in the description. Don't forget, keep it bloody legal. Come check us on Discord, the Strawberry League of Pickers. Links in the description down below. Don't forget, Doubt merch is available at Teespring. Link in the description as well. All the links, everything is down in there. Go and check it out. And I'll see you all next time. Until then, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Really do appreciate it. Help get Dark Arts out there. And cheers, guys.